You just find yourself a comfortable position to sit in. And you can take the legs crossed, you can kneel, you can bring them straight out in front of you, wherever you are. That's absolutely fine. You're going to rest the hands onto the tops of the knees or the thighs, and you're just going to close your eyes. So take a very gentle little roll of the shoulders, just drawing them all the way down, getting rid of any crunches. We're going to sit up nice and tall, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. And just starting to connect with your breath now. So taking some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. And just trying to really clear the mind now. Let go of your morning or anything else you've got to do for the rest of the day, the rest of the week. And just focus on yourself, your own breath and movement for the next 60 minutes. So just taking that time for you, your own breath, your own movement. So really trying to slow the breath down now. Starting to breathe in and out through the nose. And each time you inhale, maybe just try and take that breath a little bit deeper, to about the counts of 4 or 5, or even further if you want to. And at the top of your inhale, you're going to take a slight pause before breathing back out through the nose. So really trying to keep that exhale nice and smooth and even. Don't just force the air out of the lungs. Really try and breathe in and out nice and naturally. And at the bottom of your exhale, take another pause, but really try and breathe out all that stale air from the bottom of the lungs. We're going to start to deepen the breath now. You can start to bring the breath into the belly, so you can keep the hands down or rest them on the belly if you want to. And as you start to continue to breathe in through the nose, we're just going to focus on breathing into the belly. So really nice deep breath, feeling the belly press into the hands as you inhale. And allow it to soften back down as you exhale. So just continuing with nice deep breaths in and out through the nose, but really focusing that breath into the belly. You're going to move the hands slightly up now onto the sides of the body to the ribs, so really breathing into the ribs now as you inhale. Feel them expand out to the sides, and as you breathe out, just allow them to soften back in nice and gently. And then finally, we're just going to place the hands up onto the collarbone, the top of the chest, and you're breathing into this chest space now, into the heart. So the top of the lungs. The breath may be a little bit more shallow here, but really try and breathe in as deeply as you can. And then taking the hands down if they're lifted. Now we're going to just piece that breath together. So breathing from the belly to the ribs to the top of the chest. Slight pause at the top, from the chest to the ribs down to the belly. So again, try and keep that breath nice and smooth and even, really filling the whole of the lungs as best you can with each inhale. Maybe try to take it a little bit deeper each time, really increasing that lung capacity. And we're going to try and stay with these nice deep breaths throughout the whole of our practice as best as we can. And the most important thing is to breathe, so however that flows in and out of the body, just stick with it. So you're going to gently drop the chin down towards the chest, allow the head to feel really heavy and relaxed, breathing into the back of the neck now. As you exhale, try and release any tension or tightness that you can feel in the shoulders and the neck. And then taking an inhale, bring the head back up to the center. Now take another breath in. You're going to drop the right ear to the right shoulder. So we're stretching through this left side of the neck here. So really try and relax both the shoulders down, but still try and keep the spine nice and long, gently pulling the belly button in and really grounding down through those sit bones. So it's just a nice gentle stretch through the left side of the neck. And again, as you breathe out, try and send the breath there, releasing that tension or tightness, anything you can feel. And as you breathe in, you're going to slowly bring the head back up, and then exhaling, just drop the left ear to the left shoulder now. So again, relax those shoulders down, but still trying to keep the spine nice and long, gently pulling the belly button in, but just breathing through this right side of the neck now. So again, try and release and breathe through any tension or tightness you can feel. And then slowly bring the head all the way back up. You're going to take a breath in, lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Place the palms together and stretch through the fingertips. So relax the shoulders. Keep grounding down through those sit bones, really rooting down. And we're trying to breathe into the sides of the body, into the ribs again here. So nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Take another breath here as you breathe in, reach up as high as you can, and as you exhale, you're reaching up and over. So we're just taking a little lean over to our right side this time. So keep drawing your left shoulder blade back, but keep lengthening through the spine here. And each time you exhale, just see if you can reach up and to the side a little bit further. Really breathing into the sides of the body again here. One more breath. And then inhaling, take it all the way back up to the ceiling. Relax those shoulders once more. Take a little pause here. And then breathing into those sides of the body once more, into the ribs. Take an inhale, lifting up, and exhale over to the left this time. So again, keep grounding down through those sit bones, drawing the right shoulder blade away from the ears, breathing into the right side of the body. Breathing all the way in, all the way up, and exhaling to soften over. Take one more breath here, and then breathing in, lift up through those fingers all the way to the ceiling. We're going to clasp the hands together, flip the palm all the way up, so stretching through those fingers now, breathing in. Exhaling, and slowly lower those hands down in front of you, so keep pressing through the hands, just bringing them to about shoulder width apart. Inhaling, and take them back up, so keep that movement nice and smooth. Try not to just throw them back up, use your momentum, keep really drawing and pressing through those hands. Relax the shoulders, inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower them down. One more breath, take the arms all the way up. I'm going to take a little pause here, but now as we inhale, we're going to shrug the shoulders, and as we exhale, we're going to draw them back. So still keeping that spine nice and long, pulling the belly button in, inhaling, lift the shoulders, exhaling, draw them away. One more breath like this. Relax the shoulders. We're going to release those fingers and just bring the arms out to the sides. So you're going to flip the palms up. We're going to take a breath here. And breathing out your breath, tapping the shoulders nice and gently. Inhale, you're going to stretch the fingers out. And exhale, gently tapping those shoulders once more. I'm going to take two more breaths like this. Try and keep those elbows up nice and high so that they're in line with the shoulders if you can. One more breath. We're going to keep those fingertips on the shoulders. We're going to take 3 big circles round now. Oh, release the tension in those shoulders and arms. And then I'm going to take them back out to the sides. So back into this little position. Keep those elbows in line with the shoulders. Just touching the tops of the shoulders. You're going to inhale, stretch the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, just bring them back down. Breathing in, lift through the sides of the body. Really send the energy up through those fingers. And exhaling, bring them down. One more breath like this. And this time we're going to take a roll of the shoulders the other way. So we're drawing the shoulder blades together, taking that circle round the other way. Oh, big crackle there. So just give them a little shake, bring the arms down. We're going to take a very gentle twist to your right. So you're just going to bring your left hand onto your right knee, bring the right hand behind you. So really lengthen through the spine as you inhale, gentle twist as you exhale. Keep relaxing those shoulders, still trying to keep the spine nice and long if you can. Gently pulling the belly button in. One more breath here. And slowly back to the centre and over around to the other side. So left hand behind you this time, right hand onto that left knee, breathing all the way up through the spine as you inhale. And gently twisting as you exhale. Keep pulling that belly button in. Maybe see if you can twist a little bit deeper with each breath out. Final breath here. Slowly coming back to the centre, bring the palms into the centre of the chest, hands together, blink open the eyes if they were closed. You're going to clasp the hands together, just take a gentle roll of the wrists. And take them around the other way. And then a little pause, Mexican wave, rolling through the fingers. Get rid of all those crackles in the wrists. We're going to take another pause and just to make sure we're all awake this morning, we're going back the other way. Give the wrists a little shake. We're going to stretch the legs out in front of us if they're not there already. Just bring them about mat width apart, wherever they are. You're going to press through those heels. So still really sitting up nice and tall. Just take some circles around of the ankles. Nice big circles round. Get rid of all the crackles. Really stretching through the backs of the legs. And then take them around the other way. And then flex the toes all the way to the ceiling. So sit up nice and tall here. Really try and lengthen through the crown of the head. Pull the belly button in and press those heels forward. Take a deep breath. And exhaling, point the toes down towards the mat. 2 more breaths like this. Final breath. And give the legs a little shake. So we're just going to bring the feet in just slightly. I'll turn to the sides, it might be easier for you to see. So we're going to sit up really tall here. So try not to lean back or anything. I'm going to try and just use the tummy to keep us up nice and tall. So we want to keep our body so we're in a nice L shape here. And you're just going to press the hands into them up behind you. Now this is where we realise we've either got really short arms, really long arms, or just everybody is very different. So some people will find that they can't actually even touch the floor. That's fine, just keep pressing down. Some people might find that they've got a really big bend in their elbow, but just keep pressing through those hands. So we're trying to aim to lift through the chest and the heart here and really hug that belly button in, so sit up nice and tall. Shouldn't be easy to sit here. I want to keep pressing through those heels and press the hands into the mat. So we're just going to take 3 breaths like this. So really draw the shoulders, lift through the chest, breathing in and breathing out. 2 more breaths. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Really press the sit bones into the ground. Final breath. And then you're just going to gently walk these feet in towards you. Bring the hands either side of the body. You can lean back as much as you like now. Just take a little wiggle from side to side. Just loosen up those hips. So coming into our tabletop position, you're just going to swing the legs round. So you've got the knees under the hips, the hands underneath the shoulders, and the fingertips are pointing forwards. So we're just going to have a little gentle warm up of the wrists here. So keep pressing the hands into the mat here and lifting that space between the shoulders. You still want to try and keep pulling the belly button in towards you a little bit if you can. So we're going to take a little breath here. And as we exhale, we're just going to slowly come forward. So don't come through so far forward that it's really pressing and stretching onto the wrists, but we're just going to take a little pause here, just really pressing through those fingers. So you want to imagine that you're pressing these bits of the hand into the mat. So you're almost like suction lifting up through the palm rather than trying to grab and claw onto the mat. So keep lifting through that space here. So just take another breath here. As far forward as you can, and then exhale, we're just going to slowly come back. So stretching the arms out in front of you now, bring the hips down. Just take a little pause here. And then we're going to come all the way back up. So back up into that position, stretching through the backs of the wrists here. Just one more breath here. And then take it all the way back. Final breath like this, coming all the way back up, really stretching through the backs of those wrists, bring the weight forward, and exhaling, take the hips back. We're going to come back to the centre, and we're just going to bring the fingertips so that they're pointing out to the side, and you're going to take a little gentle rock from side to side now. So again, don't overstretch through the wrist, you just want to feel a nice little, just a little stretch here. And then coming back to the centre. We're going to see if we can take the hands all the way around. So you might not be able to, but just as far as you can, so that the wrists are pointing forwards, and then we're just going to sit back towards those heels. So again, it doesn't matter, you'll feel quite an intense stretch down the arm here. So wherever you are, just stay with it. So just take a little breath here. And then we're going to come all the way back up. And we're going to unravel those hands. You're going to just see one at a time. If you could just bring the back of the hand to the mat here. Just releasing that stretch. And give it a little wiggle on the other side. And a little stretch. And you might just want to give them a good shake here before we come back into our tabletop position. So again, imagining you're really just pressing and lifting through the palm here. So just take an inhale. And as we exhale, starting at the tailbone, we're scooping through that belly button, press and lift the space between the shoulders. Inhaling, we're coming back the other way. So again, starting at that tailbone, lifting through the chest and heart, arching through the spine, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale. And inhale, take it back. So we're trying to keep the whole breath to the movement here. So we're just going to take one more round of breath, exhaling as you scoop. And inhaling, coming back all the way up. And then come back to your neutral spine here. You're going to stretch that right leg behind you. So give the wrists a little roll and a shake. We've worked from quite hard already. Pull the belly button in. You're going to lift that right leg up. Just take it as high as you can. I don't know if you can see me. Keep the toes pointing towards the mat. So we're really squeezing through this left glute here. So again, it shouldn't feel kind of easy to be here. Keep pressing through those hands. We're going to take an inhale. And then exhale, just lower the toes down to the mat. So take it nice and slowly. Bring the toes all the way down. And as you inhale, you're bringing the heel back up towards the ceiling. So as high as you can, really squeeze through that glute. And exhaling, bring it down. Keep hugging the belly button in. One more breath here. You're going to take that right knee to the mat. Just have a little shake from side to side, loosen out those hips. And then you're going to stretch the left leg behind you. So pressing the toes into the mat. Again, really ground down and press through the hands. We want to lift the space between the shoulders. Pull the belly button in. Take an inhale. Lift that leg up as high as you can. Really squeeze through the glute. You want the toes to be pointing down. And you want this left hip to be pointing towards the mat. So pressing here. Take an inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower. Keep squeezing through that right glute. Breathing in as you lift. Again, take it nice and slow. Use the whole of your inhale to get you there. One more breath. You're going to take that left knee to the mat, have a little wiggle from side to side. We're going to bring the toes together, knees as wide as the mat. You're sitting back onto the heels and then walk the fingertips forward. So just take a little stretch and a rest in child's pose here. So you're starting to bring the chest down towards the floor, or you can rest the forehead onto your mat. You really want to try and bring the hips down towards the heels. So if you're up here, that's fine, but we're going to work towards slowly bringing them further down. So imagine you can walk those fingertips as far forward as you can. Really stretch and lengthen through the spine. We're trying to separate all the vertebrae here as best as we can. So we're just going to take 3 more breaths like this. And each time you breathe out, just see if you can relax a little bit more. And then slowly walking these hands back up towards you. You're going to bring the knees back in. So we're coming back into our tabletop position. So take a final little shake of the wrists now if you need to. You're in your tabletop position, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So you're tucking the toes under, hug the belly button in. The spine is going to stay really nice and long. So imagine that length that we just had in our cat-cow. We're taking that into our downward facing dog. So sending the hips all the way up. Keep the knees soft to start with and press the chest back towards the thighs. So see my spine, hopefully, you should be able to see it's quite nice and long here. So the minute if I start to straighten my legs too much, I can round here. And we want to keep that length in the spine, keep pressing back. So really just keep the knees nice and soft to start with. And we're just going to start to send the hips from side to side, pedaling through the backs of the legs. And if you do want to start to straighten them a little bit, that's fine, but you just no need to bring the heels all the way to the mat. And we're going to start to walk the feet towards the hands. So resting down here, rest the belly on the thighs. We're going to grab hold of the elbows. Completely relax the head down towards the mat. Give it a gentle nod, yes and no. And then take a little rock from side to side, just loosening out the lower back here. You're going to release the elbows. And then very slowly we're rolling up through the spine, so pressing through the feet here. We're just going to take it up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Keep scooping that belly button in towards the spine. And bring the head up last. So, feeling a little bit taller, we're going to come to the front of our mat and we're going to do our little sun salutation here. So, front of your mat, you're going to bring the feet hip width apart, the palms are facing forward. Standing up nice and tall. Hug the belly button in, lift the kneecaps, engage the thighs. Take an inhale as you reach the arms all the way to the ceiling. So lengthen through the spine here. As we exhale this time, we're going to bring the hands into the center of the chest and we're going to bend the knees. So we're coming all the way down like this. We're going to bend the knees so much that we can bring the hands all the way flat down towards the mat. And then we're going to step or slide the right foot back. So take a big step it all the way back as far as you can, or you can just slide it back. So wiggle the toes back as far as you can so you can feel like a nice stretch here. You want the left knee over the left ankle, and then you're going to slowly lower this right knee to the mat. Untucking the toes if you can. You're going to bring the hands up onto this front leg. So really make sure we're stacking all these joints. Sitting up nice and tall here. Should feel quite a nice stretch into your right hip, and you want to squeeze the thighs together. So we're going to take an inhale, lift the arms up and draw the shoulders away from the ears. So looking up to those fingertips. If you want to bring the palms together, you can. So really lift through those fingertips. Like this. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, squeezing through the thighs. Take an inhale. And an exhale, bring the hands down. You're going to place them down towards your mat. You're going to step your left knee to the mat, so we're back in this tabletop position. We're going to take an inhale, coming into our cat-cow position, so lift through the chest and the heart, and an exhale, scoop that belly in. Breathing in, you're coming back to a neutral spine. We're going to start to lower the chest down towards the mat. So we've got our hands right underneath our shoulders. Hug that belly button in nice and tightly, and we're squeezing the elbows back. So we're just gently taking this chest halfway down towards the mat, and then we're going to press back up. So nice and slowly, really use those hands. Try and work the upper body. We're going to take one more breath here. Exhaling, lowering down. Keep hugging that belly button in. Try and keep the spine nice and long. Take it all the way back up. You're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, come to your downward facing dog. So send those hips up nice and high. Keep the knees as soft as you need to. And start to maybe pedal through the backs of the legs once more. You're going to try and take a little pause here. Really scoop that belly button in. Looking up towards the knees if you can. Draw and press that chest back. Just take one more inhale here. And exhaling, slowly lower those knees down to the mat. We're going to step the right foot forward, so give it some help if you need to, towards the front of your mat. Keeping the right knee over the right ankle. Coming all the way up. Take an inhale, lift through those arms. Stretch through the fingertips, bring the palms together if you want to. Lift through the chest and heart. Breathing here. As you exhale, bringing the hands down. Either side of this front foot, we're going to step the back foot all the way to the front. So nice big step to bring the feet together. And then an inhale, bring the arms up to the ceiling. So stretch through those fingertips, lifting through the sides of the body, pull the belly button in. You're going to bring the hands down into the centre of the chest, exhaling, folding down towards the mat. So keep the knees nice and soft here. Bring the hands down. We're going to step the left foot back this time as far as you can. So wiggle those toes back. Lower the knee, right knee over the right ankle. We're slowly coming up. Take an inhale, reach the arms. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Squeezing through those thighs, lifting, bring the palms together if you want to. Just take another breath here. Exhaling, bring the hands down. Place them down towards the mat. You're going to step this right knee down towards the mat this time. Take an inhale, lift through the chest and heart. Exhale, scoop that belly. Inhaling, coming back to the centre. So again, we're going to take this little press. So I don't want you to kind of collapse like this and stick your bum in the air. We want to try and squeeze those elbows either side of the body. So no chicken wings out to the side. We're hugging them in. Hug that belly button in. Just come down a tiny bit. It doesn't matter if it's a lot. It doesn't have to be all the way down. We're going to take one more breath, coming down. Press all the way back up. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into your downward facing dog. So again, keep those knees nice and soft. Pedal through the backs of the legs if you need to. Send the tailbone all the way up to the ceiling. So just take a little breath here. It's early, so our hamstrings are probably not that stretchy. It's fine. Mine aren't either. Exhale, lower the knees down. We're stepping the left foot forward, so give it some help if you need to. Step it all the way towards the front of the mat. We're coming up nice and slowly. Feel that stretch in the right hip, left knee over left ankle. Sweep the arms up. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and lift through the chest and heart. You can bring the palms together, lifting up once more. Exhale, hands down. Either side of the front foot. Step the back foot all the way to the front. Nice big step, pressing through those feet. Lift through the chest and heart. Take the hands all the way to the ceiling. We're going to do it a tiny little bit quicker now because we all know what we're doing. So exhaling, bring the hands down, bend through those knees. Plant the hands, right foot back. Lower the knee. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up. Bring the palms together if you want to. Lift through the chest and heart. Exhale, bring the hands down, either side of this front foot. Drop the knee to the mat. Inhaling, lift through the chest and heart. Exhale, scoop the belly. Breathing in, coming back to the centre. Hug that belly button in, squeeze the elbows. We're going to come halfway down. Lower, lower, lower towards the floor and all the way back up. Just once this time. Tuck the toes, lift the hips straight into your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here at the top. Nice inhale. And exhaling, slowly lower those knees down towards the mat. Step the right foot forward. Give it some help if you need to. Take an inhale, lift the arms. Palms together if you want to. Lift through the chest and heart. Exhale, bring the hands down. Either side of that front foot. Step the back foot to the front. And an inhale to lift. Final half. Reaching up, stretch, bend the knees as you exhale, coming forward. Hands to the mat, left foot back. Drop the knee, right knee over right ankle. Reach those arms up, palms together if you want to. Lift through the chest and heart. And exhale, bring them down. Taking the right knee to the mat now. Take an inhale as you lift the chest. And an exhale, scoot that belly, lift the space between the shoulders. Breathing in back to a neutral spine. Taking that little press, squeeze the elbows, lower the chest down. And all the way back up. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, come to your downward facing dog. Tailbone up nice and high, lengthen through the spine. Keep the knees soft as you need to. Take a deep breath in. And exhaling to slowly lower. Breathing in, left foot forward, give it some help. Reach the arms up, palms together if you want to. Lift through the chest and heart. Exhale, bring the hands down, either side of this front foot. You're going to step the back foot all the way to the front, nice big step, and then a final inhale, lifting through the chest and heart, bring the arms up. So we're going to try and keep these arms up here. So draw the shoulders away from the ears, really breathing into the sides of the body. So feel those ribs expand, keep lifting through the chest and heart. Take a deep breath. We're going to reach up and take a little reach over to our right side. So you're drawing this top left shoulder blade back. Keep pulling this hip back, lifting up, breathing in. Softening over as you exhale. One more breath. And then come all the way up to the ceiling. So we're reaching up nice and high. We're going to bring the hands into the centre of the chest. We're going to lift the right foot like this. So take a little balance. If you need to rest the toes on the floor, you can. Or just take them up a little bit. Or you can aim to bring this knee at like a nice 90 degrees. Flex through the foot. Pull the belly button in, crown of the head up towards the ceiling, lift the pelvic floor, relax the shoulders, and on top of that, breathe, because we always try and hold our breaths in balances, so just take a little pause here. We're going to try and step this foot back. So you can either bring the toes to the mat and slide it all the way back down, or nice and slowly stepping it back down the mat. And you're just forward as far as you can. So we've still got the left knee right over the left ankle. If it's overshooting, bring it back, or you can bring the feet a little bit wider. If the back foot feels a bit like you're on a tightrope, just bring it out to the side a little bit, make that base a little bit wider. So we're going to take a little pause here. We'll keep pressing back through this right heel. So we've just got the toes of the back foot on the floor and we're pressing back through the heel. So the heel shouldn't be lowered. Keep sinking down. We're going to reach the arms up to the ceiling. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. We're lifting through the chest and heart. So if you feel like you're losing your balance completely, then just keep looking forward. But if you want to take a little challenge, we can keep looking up to the ceiling. I'm really bending through this front knee, seeing if we can reach up even higher. One more breath here. You're going to bring the hands down into the centre of the chest. We're going to open out into our warrior two. Keep swapping sides. So we're taking it out to the side. So you just need to turn this back right foot out from here to here. So we're bending into this front left knee. Again, try and keep the joints stacked so the left knee should be over the left ankle. We're squaring the hips and the shoulders to the side and we keep pressing this left knee back behind us. We're going to take the arms out so that they're in line with the body and we want to shoulders, so we want to try and stretch through those fingers. So we don't want to be reaching too far forward here yet. We're keeping up nice and tall, feet as wide as possible. So we're going to keep the lower half still. We're just moving the arms up, breathing in. Take a little pause here, lift through that chest. See if you can sink that front knee a little bit more. Breathing in, breathing out, bring the hands down into the centre. You're going to take them back out to the side. One more breath like this. Bottom half of the body stays still. Inhaling, lifting up. Reaching up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Once more, take the arms out. You're going to lower this front arm onto the front leg. You're going to bring the left arm up and over the top of the head. So we're drawing a line from these fingertips all the way to the foot on the floor. Keep pushing the right hip back. Keep bending into the front neck. We're not leaning too much onto it, so you should, in theory, be able to just lift that arm up like it weighs nothing. So just one breath here. As we exhale, we're going to just take that arm behind us. And as we inhale, we're going to float it back up. Float it, I say, because it weighs nothing. Exhale, take it down. One more breath. Keep bending into this front knee and feeling your pain. Bottom half of the body stays completely still. We're floating that upper body back. One more breath here. Take an inhale, straighten the front leg, thank goodness. Bring the palms into the center of the chest. We're going to turn that left foot to face towards the side of the mat. So if you need to walk the feet in very slightly, you can. We're going to take a little forward fold here. So if you've got a block or anything, books, whatever, you're welcome to use them. But you really want to try and keep these feet as wide as possible. So, taking the hands to the hips. So, whoop, do this every time. Stand up nice and tall. Draw the shoulder blades together, lift through the chest and heart, take a deep breath in. And exhaling, we're slowly coming forward. So keep scooping that belly button in. We're keeping the back as flat as we can, and we're drawing those shoulder blades back. So no rounding through the top of the back. Think like you're lifting that chest. Almost feel like you're arching through the spine, because we want to keep that spine nice and long, and we're hugging the belly button in as tightly as we can. Take a little pause. And exhaling, carry on folding down towards the mat or to your block. Adjust the feet if you need to. Plant the hands down. Bend the knees if you need to keep that back nice and flat. Try not to round. Keep lifting. Here we are. Just take a little breath here. We're going to see if we can walk the hands back a little bit further so that they're in line with the feet. Keep pressing the sides of the feet into the floor, lifting through that chest. Take a deep breath in. Now as you exhale, you're going to bend both the knees down towards the mat. So as you bend the knees, a crown of the head naturally comes forward. We're going to keep it there, back nice and long. Now as we exhale, we're just straightening those legs. So not the whole body, just the legs. If you can't completely straighten them, it doesn't matter, just a tiny little bit. Breathing in, we're just going to do that one more time. So bend the knees as you inhale. Crown of the head comes down, back is nice and long. Exhale, extend the legs, crown of the head comes down. We're just going to relax here now. So if you want to take the forearms to the floor, if you want to soften the knees a little bit, you can. Just relax down to the mat. Try and breathe into the backs of the legs, into the hamstrings. Final breath here. And then we're going to soften both our knees. Bring the hands back up to the hips. And as slow as we came down, we're coming back up. So press those feet into the floor, lengthen through the spine, lift through the chest and the heart. All the way back up. Walk the feet in very slightly. And we're just going to take a big step to the front of the mat. Just simply bring the feet together. We're going to do it all on the other side. So inhaling, lift those arms up. Stretch through the fingertips, draw the shoulder blades away from the ears. Take an inhale. Exhaling. We're going over to the other side. So, whichever side, I think it should be your left, but if my mirroring is incorrect, just take it on the other side, it's fine. So, reaching all the way over to your left, I think. Breathing here. Keep drawing back through this left hip, the left shoulder. You want to breathe into the sides of the body. As you exhale, we're softening over. One more breath like this. Inhaling, coming all the way back up. Lift through the chest and heart, breathing into the sides of the body now. You're going to bring the palms into the center of the chest, and we're lifting this left leg up off the mat. So again, rest the toes if you need to, or you can take it up nice and high. So that knee is in a nice 90-degree position. Flex through the foot, relax the shoulders, ground down through the standing leg, pull the belly button in, crown of the head comes up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Take another breath here. Wherever you are, we're taking this left foot back. So if the toes are down, slide it back if you want to. Nice and controlled, we're stepping the left leg down the mat. Right knee is bent. Right knee is over the right ankle. Pressing back through the left heel. Both toes are pointing forward. Again, remember you can take the feet a little bit wider so you've got an extra stance if you need to, but try not to bring the heel to the floor. If the heel's very easily coming to the floor, you can take your legs even wider and bend your knee even more. So square those hips, reach the arms up, palms together. Again, pausing here. Keep looking forward if you need to. If you want an extra challenge, and you can, you're lifting that chest and heart, looking up towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing through the thighs. One more breath. Bring the palms down into the center of the chest. We're turning that back left foot open to come into our warrior two. So our front heel and back instep should be in a line. We're squaring the hips and the shoulders, and we're bending into this front knee. So take the feet as wide as you can. Use the whole of your yoga mat. You're going to bring the arms out nice and wide so that they are in line with the shoulders. Someone's pulling those arms apart, keeping the bottom half of the body still. Take an inhale, lifting up. Reach and stretch, lift through those sides of the body. Exhale, bring the palms into the center of the chest. We're going to take them all the way back out. Breathing in. Lift, pausing here. Exhale, bring them down. Arms out to the side. Legs are burning. Drop the right arm onto the front leg. Left arm comes up and over the top of the head. Draw the left shoulder blade back. Left hip back. Nice long line from these fingertips to the foot. Again, try and lift that right arm off the front leg. It will be burning, but we're not putting too much weight onto it here. We're very strong. So you're going to take a final breath. Exhale, just float this arm back behind you. Inhaling, lift the arm up. And exhaling, float it back. Once more, breathing in, take that arm up. Bottom half of the body stays still. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze all the way up. Pause here. Take an inhale, straighten that leg. Whew. Bring the palms into the center of the chest and the right toes to point towards the sides of the mat. We're going to take our forward fold again. So bringing the hands onto the hips, feet as wide as you can. Toes pointing in just slightly, but you really want to press the sides of those feet into the mat. So really try not to let the feet roll. Nice and grounded, lifting through the chest and heart as you inhale. Exhaling, slowly take it forward. Keep that back nice and flat. Keep lifting through the chest and heart, scooping the belly button in. Halfway down, take an inhale. And exhaling, carry on folding down. Soften the knees as much as you need to get those hands to the floor. Rather bend the knees than round through the top of the back. So just take a little moment here, readjust the feet. See if you can walk those hands back a little bit so that they're in line with the feet here. We're going to take an inhale. And on your next breath in now, you're going to bend both knees down towards the mat. So again, crown of the head will naturally come down. Back is nice and straight. As you exhale, we're just starting to straighten the legs. Crown of the head comes down, so we're not straightening and lifting up. We're straightening and lowering the crown of the head down. So just a little bit. Breathing in, bend those knees. Lift through the chest and heart once more. Exhale, folding down. We're going to relax here. Give the head a little nod, yes and no. Loosen out the back of the neck. Really flop down towards your mat. Soften the knees if you need to. Breathe into the backs of the hamstrings. Just relax here. And then you're going to soften the knees. Bring the hands back up onto the hips. Press those feet into the floor. We're coming all the way back up nice and slowly. So nice long spine all the way up. Back to standing. You're going to walk the feet in slightly. Turning the right foot towards the front of your mat. You're just going to take a nice big step and bring the feet together. So final breath in here. Really stretch through those sides of the body. Lift through the fingertips. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the hands down into the centre of the chest, folding down towards your mat. You're going to bring the hands to the floor and step those knees back down to the mat. You're going to just keep the knees together if you want to, feet together, or if you want to take them to the sides, you can. Sit back onto those heels and just take a little stretch forward. So really stretching through the sides of the body. This is our nice little restful child's pose. So really try and sink those hips down towards the heels as you breathe out. See if you can relax a little bit further. Naturally allow the chest to come gently down towards the mat. Rest the hands as far forward as you can. Really lengthen through that spine. You can rest the forehead down if you want to. So we're just going to take a final breath here. going to slowly walk the hands all the way back up. And then we're going to swing the legs around so that they are just in front of us. So the feet are hip width apart. We're going to bring the hands so that the fingertips are pointing towards us. And we're lifting through this chest and heart here. So, some people love this, some people hate it. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Really ground down through these feet. We're going to take 3 breaths. On our first inhale, we're going to press the feet into the mat. You're going to lift the hips up nice and high. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, slowly lowering them down. Breathing in. Keep pressing through these arms. Inhaling to lift. Take it slowly. Squeeze at the top and exhale to lower. Final breath like this, we're going to take a hold at the top. So really press through those hands. Lift the chest and heart as high as you can. Plant those feet down, squeeze through the glutes. If you want to look up towards the ceiling a bit, you can, but don't crunch the head back. Just looking up, lifting through that chest and heart. Take a final breath here. Squeezing into the glutes. As you exhale, we're very slowly lowering the bum down towards the mat. Nice and slowly. Try not to do it too fast. We're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to bring the arms out to the side. Really open through the chest as you inhale. As you exhale, you're just going to bring the left arm on top of the right and give yourself a big hug. One more inhale, open those arms out nice and wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you exhale. We're taking the right arm on top. Squeezing the arms round, nice big hug. I'm going to bring the hands down. So we're coming down towards our mats now. So make sure you're at the front. You've got loads of space behind you. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Rest the fingertips on the mat. Take them in front of you. Lift the arms up nice and high if you want to, wherever we are. We're very slowly rolling down the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. You're just going to take your time. Take a pause anytime that you need to. If you feel like you're about to collapse back, just take a little pause. We're going to carry on rolling, vertebrae by vertebrae. Really use those tummy muscles, pausing anytime that you need to. Try not to use the feet either. Shouldn't be doing anything with them. All the way down to your mat. Just take a little hug of the knees in towards the chest. We're going to take a little circle round. So just loosening out the lower back. Take the knees round one way and then the other. And then we're going to bring the feet to the floor, knees and ankles together. You're going to bring the arms either side of the body nice and wide. So, we were aiming to keep the shoulder blades plugged into the mat. They're not going to lift. We're going to take a deep breath here. Hug the belly button in. As you exhale, you're dropping your knees to the right. So knees and ankles stay together. If this shoulder blade starts to lift, take it back, leave the knees where they are. We're taking them down only as far as they can go. So if they don't go all the way down to the mat, it doesn't matter. Just keep this left shoulder blade plugged in. So we're aiming to roll the left hip on top of the right. Arms are nice and wide. You can take a little look over to your left side. Really try and relax the shoulders. We've made it to the end, so you can just relax here and breathe a little bit. So each time you exhale, just see if you can relax a little bit further into your twist. Can you roll that left hip on top of the right a little bit more? Can you relax a bit more into this left shoulder and really open through the chest? And again, anywhere you can feel any tension or tightness, maybe in the glutes, into the hips, just imagine sending your exhale there and just try and melt and float. Breathe that tension away. Just one more breath here. We're bringing the knees up. We're using the tummy muscles. We're not using the floor. Knees and ankles together. Squeeze through the sides of the body. Bring those knees all the way up to the center. Reposition. Feet, knees, ankles together. Pull the belly button in, nice deep breath. Exhale, lower them over to your left side. So again, if this shoulder starts to lift, pull it back. Just pause with the knees. Just bring them over as far as they will come. It doesn't matter. We're rolling the right hip on top of the left this time. open through that chest and heart. Take a little look over to your right side if you want to. And again, each time you breathe here, just see if you can relax the body into your twist. Just try and enjoy it. Try and roll that right hip on top of the left a little bit more. Can you open that chest a little bit more? Can you draw the right shoulder blade back just a tiny little bit more, really lifting and opening through that chest? Try and relax, breathing away any tension or tightness. Just take a final little pause here. Slowly bring those knees back up to the center, so try to use those tummy muscles, squeezing, bring them up. We're going to bring the knees in towards the chest once more. You're wrapping the arms all the way around you, so maybe see if you can grab hold of those elbows and really hug them in nice and tightly. If you want to lift the forehead up towards the knees, you can, and hug yourself into a tiny little ball. So take a deep breath here. As you exhale, squeeze, tense all those muscles. One more breath like this. Release the elbows. You have made it to the end. We're going to take it down to our final resting pose, our Savasana, the most important part. So, legs come straight out in front of you. You allow the toes to flop out to the bottom corners of the mat, so just bring them a little bit wider, maybe hip width-ish. You bring the arms either side of the body, palms are facing up, just leave a small gap into the armpit. You're gently tucking the chin in towards the chest, but the head stays on the mat. And you're going to close your eyes. Let go of your practice. Just focus on the breath once more. But rather than try and control it, just allow that breath to flow very naturally in and out of the body. Breathing all the way up, just allowing that belly to gently rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Relaxing from the crown of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. Just noticing all the parts of the body that are making contact with the earth. And just really allow those points and parts of the body to completely relax even deeper. Really use that breath to breathe away any tension or tightness that you can feel. Relaxing the forehead, the eyebrows and the space between the eyebrows, the cheeks, the chin, the lips and the jaw soft and relaxed. Relax your shoulders down towards the tops of the arms and the elbows, the forearms to the wrists. The palms of the hands, the backs of the hands, and all 10 fingers. Soften the throat, the chest, the space around the heart down towards the belly and the ribs. Relaxing the back of the neck down to the shoulder blades, the top, middle and lower back, completely relaxed and melting into the earth. soften the hips, the thighs, knees, calves and shins, down to the ankles, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, and all 10 toes. The whole of the body completely calm, relaxed, and peaceful. Just let it feel like you're melting into the earth below. Just focusing your attention on the breath, the gentle rise and fall of the belly and the chest as you breathe. And if the mind does start to wander, just gently bring it back to the breath. Just allowing these feelings of peace and calm to wash over you as you rest here. And just gently now starting to deepen your breath. Still keeping the eyes closed, but just bringing a little bit of awareness back into the room. Maybe wiggling the fingers or the toes. Just bring some movement back into the body. Could very gently start to rock the head from side to side, just to loosen out the back of the neck. And if you want to reach the arms up and above the head into a full body stretch from the tips of the fingers all the way down to the toes. You're very gently going to take a little roll onto your right side, using the arms or hands as a pillow, and gently bringing the knees up into the chest just slightly, and just resting here for a few more moments. Feeling calm, peaceful and relaxed. And just allowing these feelings to come with you throughout the rest of your day, knowing that you can return to this place of calm at any time that you need. So still keeping the eyes closed or the gaze down. You're going to very gently, very slowly make your way up to a comfortable seated position on the mat. Just really taking your time, no need to rush. And once you're there, you're going to take a nice deep breath in, lift those shoulders towards the ears as you inhale, sighing as you relax them back down. One more breath. Drop the chin down towards the chest, start to rub the palms of the hands together to generate some heat. Place the hands over the eyes. Blinking the eyes open into the palms, you're going to bring the hands down to the centre of the chest whenever you are ready. Thank you everybody. I wish you a very peaceful rest of your week. Namaste. So, thank you again for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you're a little bit more set up for another week. Maybe to go in the garden. It's a bit sunny-ish, as long as it doesn't rain again. If anybody has any questions or needs, I don't know, anything, I'm glad we managed to sort the camera situation out at the beginning. But I will be here again tomorrow lunchtime at 12, which is kind of just a little breathing, stretching, and then Wednesday night, which is a little bit more tricky, a little bit of a stronger practice. So I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.